Welcome and welcome back to the Light Renegades. My name is Starr. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I must say that I did not expect to be back so soon. There's been a lot of discussions behind the scenes with teams of light and fractals of expression to truly figure out what was going to be the best course of action moving forward with the Light Renegade space. And I had this all waiting in the wings for some time. I didn't know exactly if I was going to be sharing them, bringing them forward. I think there was a lot that had to be discussed behind the scenes in order for this to be made possible. I'm now starting to completely understand exactly where things took a massive pause and energies went awry, because there was a lot to try and bring into understanding, because where at least I find myself and what I'm experiencing energetically is that some things haven't happened yet, that we are waiting to happen before some things can be shared later down the line. So we've been having to be very careful with what we are sharing so that it didn't change the fabric of reality. And I knew for some time that there was been massive shift in galactic spaces, but I knew very much that I was too on the front line. All of us Light Renegades, and most of you here, I want to share as well, we're too on the front line to be able to know exactly what is happening. This is why disclosure took a massive pivot at some point on the Light Renegade space. We're very much tipped into angelic understandings, and that's going to be something that is brought into fruition in a few channelings time, everyone. I've been given some information behind the scenes that I will be sharing with you that is going to perhaps put a massive piece of history into true understanding and awareness. And when I received this message, these messages, I think I knew that this was coming for some time. And it's no surprise to me, because the entirety of my life is just so wrapped up in the fabric of everything somewhere, that every single move that I make here, I know is very much rippling out into the cosmos, into the atmosphere, into every bit of reality that we are shaping here together. So I want to say, if you've been having a turbulent time in the most recent weeks and the most recent months, it's because you are very much connected to these shifts that are happening as well. But I'm going to pause here, because I will create an energetic update video explaining a little bit more of that. But I wanted to just preface this whole understanding with this verse, because it's very much going to shift the paradigm of reality to some degree, because everything has shifted where we have been in the timelines that we have closed in. So I was very grateful to receive this soul, and I knew that they were wanting to share something with us. I wasn't entirely sure exactly how this was going to play out, but I've been very grateful to receive this fast channeling and to understand kind of where we're going with this. This came with so many tears behind the scenes, as per usual, when stepping into a paradigm of this, and because there is just so much heartache and pain that I think is felt on an energetic level with these souls that live out these lifetimes. And this soul in particular, I think it was just heartbreaking to witness in all manners of space and time, and in a very 3D expression. I think a lot of people's hearts were breaking for this soul, and to see, you know, exactly what they went through. And, you know, my heart is always open to anyone, no matter what they have done in their lifetimes. And of course, you know, I don't agree with a lot of things that some beings have done that I've brought over here in the Light Renegade space before. But obviously I understand the bigger picture, and I know what's going on behind the scenes. So I hope that you can all have some compassion in your heart for this soul too. And I feel incredibly grateful and lucky, as always, to be able to be communing with a fractal of these souls as energy. And I think it's going to be an interesting take on what happens to a soul. And this is not the first time that we've done this. There is playlists that you can go and head to see more of souls that have been in the public eye, fame for celebrities, so to speak, if you want to call them that. But I'm starting to see a very different paradigm step forward with these souls, that, you know, their life path is a reflection of so much more. And that's the same for all of us here too, those that are awake, those that are stepping forward in the paradigms of knowing that there is much more to this one frame of reality that we are told is true. So remember this and have this in heart. So I hope that you can receive the soul with the most open heart. I know that you will all try, and us trying really does create that ripple effect out into the collective. But I want to introduce MJ, and their channeled message from last night with me was titled I'm Okay. And I'm going to just hop right in, and I very much feel the energy completely within my heart space when I connect with them. And they are a soul that has so much warmth and so much such a capacity to hold others, that I think that now that I can sink into that energy, and I hope that you all can too, that it makes a lot more sense where they found themselves at certain points in their life, I think. And I'm not going to try and jump the gun here or try and put words into their expression, but I think that there is going to be perhaps a space of a little bit more compassion that we can hold for the soul moving forward. But yeah, the channeling from NJ from last night was titled I'm Okay. And they started with, Hello community, I'm impressed with the growth over here. I'm exceptionally impressed with all that has been taking place in the most recent years. There has been much for many of you to contend with. My soul had agreed to connect with you all again. My soul had agreed to connect with you all once again, and this was way long before this soul could remember that she was even born. My life isn't just an expression of a star lost on the fringes of insanity, lack of self-worth, and potential pedophilia. My life is an expression of multi-layered structures that you are all experiencing. I want to share some notes on my view of it all, what it felt like for me, and what it actually looks like for so many. You are playing a role. It's not the first time that you've all heard this, but it's perhaps the first time you're going to hear it in this way. I don't want to start at the beginning because, quite frankly, we don't have time for that. There has been much that we've been having to agree upon behind the scenes for this expression to continue. The Light Renegades have been on the border of what was considered to be towing the line of acceptance. There have been new treaties and alliances made. Some of you have been feeling this shift and this expression also. My apologies if this may come as a shock to some, but of course my energy is much more galactic in nature than you may be used to. But if you look back now, I'm sure that you can see exactly where my heart was guiding, was leading, and was truly trying to shape a better future for all. I want everyone to know in the here and now that my energy was not what you once thought it was. My life had been fragmented for so long that I wasn't even sure what was true or real anymore. At some point, they ask you the question. You don't know what you are truly answering, but it's a question that you know you must indeed answer. I want to say this all to you here. Imagine you've been given the opportunity of a lifetime, not just yours, but others in your family. You've been given that platform which you've always wanted. When someone says this and it comes at a cost, do you think that you can truly fathom what this means? What this means that you will experience in the years to come? I want to say that no one in the public eye has the true grasp. This soul here is struggling to allow for the truths to be truly here. We live in a reality where it's all at the exact same time, and my life was no exception to this. My name is Michael Jackson, but you can call me Love, because somewhere deep down, that's all that I wish to share. And I think it's going to take some time for us to be able to allow this soul back in. I feel like there has been such a paradigm shift, everyone, and correct me if I'm wrong in this energies, but I feel like my heart is just ever more open for these souls that wish to step forward, and I have this absolute well of compassion that I have that I just didn't see through the eyes of I think in the most previous years of this expansion. I think when you start to wake up, there is a lot of anger that comes from this space. There was a lot of upset. There was a lot of rage within me that just wanted to fight this tooth and nail. And now I'm starting to see that there is so much more of a nuance to all of this expression. And as much as there are beings out there that have taken these contracts that they don't necessarily know exactly what is happening in that present time, but also seeing that somewhere there is an energy of acceptance that has to come from knowing that somewhere they have given to the greater good in a way round. How do I want to word this? So I'm channeling at the same time as receiving this energy, that there is a greater good that comes from their whole entire expression, even if they've done the most catastrophic things. And I'm going to share something in the most recent energetic update video that I think might help put this into perspective. And while it's not exactly the same, and I'm really trying to make correlations here that do seem so far removed from everything, but at the same time, I think when you start to see things as just energy and you start to try and take emotion out of the situations that we are looking at, I think that's when you can start to add a little bit more compassion and a little bit more of a heart-centric space from either side of the spectrum. But I want to say that trying to bring this all through last night, there was a lot of commotion, there was a lot of energy, there was a lot of beings that did not want this to be out here. We have made alliances, we have, shared as much as we could in certain realms, space and time, but there was always going to be those alliances out there that do not want this information out. So just be aware of that, because I know that some do experience the exact same things that I do when receiving this content. So make sure that you are asking for protection in all your spaces, although you know that you are protected, but just make sure that you have an eye out and be aware, everyone. There has been a lot that has been at stake somewhere with regards to all of this, and I'm very much just trusting that everything that I am guided to do in the present given time is not just here for me, but it is here for everyone else as well. So to me, it's not a question of, if I can do this anymore. It's very much a question of, I know that this is what I came here to do. And I think somewhere I've been fighting myself behind the scenes, because I just wanted to show up in a very different way, because I do have a lot more compassion in my heart, but I'm starting to see that the whole entirety of my existence was always bringing me to this moment, to these moments, to be sharing these messages, to be channeling the things that I do. So, you know, I'm starting to really see that my heart was always guiding me into this, and there is no expression of me that can exist outside of this, which I think has been something that I've been having to come to terms with. So, you know, this is me, this is us, this is the Light Renegades, and we're continuing for a little while longer, but please know that we hold you all in so much love and heart and compassion, and I'm excited to know what Love wants to bring forward, because I think that they have a very a perspective that is so rich in depth of understanding of the cosmos, but also of life, and that true essence of pure divine frequency. And, you know, this is definitely going to fringe on the taboo. This is definitely going to fringe onto aspects that will be quite difficult for some to witness and be paying attention to. So just have that in mind as well. But I think that's all for myself today. I will be back again when the timing feels aligned, but I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen from getting this video out to everyone. You can already hear that there's beings trying to come through into the field. So we're going to take it step by step. I don't want to be in a situation that we had with Stanley Kubrick's energy, so I'm going to play it safe over here, I want to say. So I hope that you all can sit into that frequency as well. But so much love from me to you, so much love from MJ, love from him to you all too, and yeah, I hope that you can feel that, but I'm not going to share too much. I'm going to just let the energy come through organically and in the right timing. But that's all from me today. Take care.